Good morning, everyone. It is February the 22nd, and we have all of the newsy news, and Fry has abandoned me as usual. He's probably sniffing, trash nuggets as we speak, because that's just kind of what he's been doing lately. Good morning, Eris. Thank you for being you and doing all of the modly mod stuff. I hope you are feeling better, or at least on the mend. Good morning, Christine, and Squid Pro Quo. There he is. He's back. He's like, "Mom, I know you went to the store. I will be looking at all your things." Flash fan, I am doing okay. I am a bit just confused because yesterday I did not get a whole lot of sleep and I was dragging all of the behind. Today I got the same amount of lack of sleep and I'm like hyperactive. If I ever figure out my body and then can tell you all how to be better at, adulting, I will be a millionaire. Don't expect it yet, but good morning, Phoenix Fire. I hope everyone is great. And our first story is a prankster that was suspended from a $2,000 to, I'm sorry, $20,000 a year school after he drenched boaters in a milk viral stunt. Quote from him, "I'm just a kid. You ruined my life." I'll redo your quote, sir. "I'm just a douche. I accept my consequences." That's what you should say. What goes around comes around, and this kid found out quickly. I guess New York Times can put an FAFO. "Look, sir, you're a kidult and you wanna act like an idiot. You're lucky you didn't do this in Texas, okay? Just saying." A young prankster was suspended from his $20,000 a year school amid a weeks-long investigation after he drenched a group of women with milk. "Sir, these are my healthy snacks. These are not yours. Get your nose out of them. Thank you." And yes, I do. My file folder drawer is actually my healthy snack drawer. Now, old me wasn't the healthiest snacks, but I'm trying to do healthy snacks. But Fry is like, "I smell food like substances, ma'am. I would like to eat all the cashews too." And I say, "No." He's like, "You is going to cook bacon?" Head scritches. Yeah, okay. So a 16-year-old unnamed Australian boy was handed a combination of suspension and other punitive action, reparation, apologies, and counseling in the wake of a viral stunt, which has been viewed more than 32.6 million times, according to the Herald Sun. I'll have to ask EU if she knew about this, and also $20,000 a year for school. Holy crapola. Like, y'all, I am telling you, I would still be in a coma if my mom paid $20,000 a year for me to go to school and I did some jackassery like this in a coma or in a shoebox. I'm just saying, gentle parenting was not a thing for latchkey kids. Oh, crap. No touching buttons. Quote, "We continue to have a firm view that this behavior was completely unacceptable and have treated the matter with utmost seriousness," Melbourne Grammar School said. The boy uploaded the footage of the okay, look, he's a douche, he's an asshat, he's, doing stupid stuff, but it's not like he threw, something that was going to injure them unless they're lactose intolerant. The boy uploaded the footage of this ridiculous stupidity on his Instagram account. I'm not going to give him a shout out, as he showed himself dumping milk on the top of four women while they were on a go boat ride on the Yarra River. One of the prankster's alleged victims, who posted a video just moments after they were struck, said the group was celebrating a friend's birthday. "You book a go boat for your friend's birthday, and some kid on a bridge above us pours a whole bottle of milk on us." Cryy face emojis. Veronica Burgess wrote on a TikTok video posted on January 27th. The short clip shows a picnic table the women were sitting with. Okay, let's see how terrible this vile, horrifying thing is. Would you I no, I don't want to. I don't want to verify myself. I don't wanna be on TikTok. Stop. No, no one wants to be on TikTok. Friberto, I love you, but you're not helping me with anything right now except scratching my arm. Yes, I love you. No, I don't Friberto. No, ow. Stop. No, I don't wanna look at your what is TikTok? TikTok is the devil, never mind. Look, she posted a picture whinging about it. I would love to find the kid that ruined our day. If you've had children, getting milk spilled on you is one of the lesser fluids that you can be covered with, so I'm just saying, ma'am, welcome to motherhood. One of Burgess's friends is seen trying to shake milk out of a Bluetooth speaker due to the amount of milk landing on the group. Recognizing how far he might have gone, the boy allegedly told others in a video that's since been deleted on TikTok to stop sending videos of him in the foul act to his school before he was ultimately expelled. I- It is nasty. It can leave an awful smell. I Of all the things they discontinued since I had little itty bitty babies, the Playtex, bottle liner things, I don't know why they ever discontinued those because you know what? If you found a bottle that had been, left in the van for 14 months, Kaiser Pineapple. Good morning, folks. Welcome to the world where a government is creating a cyber attack against itself and taking your cell phone coverage. Well, as stated previously on X by me, I am willing to, continue to live in clown world, but I would like all of my interactions with said clown world to be narrated by David Attenborough, Sir David Attenborough, so I can feel directly like, Jane Goodall with all the chimps. Or was it gorillas? I don't remember, but she was with some sort of people. Let's see. Uh, the Melbourne Grammar School, founded in 1858, prides itself on being one of Australia's leading independent schools in the country. Not the face. We've talked about this. Stinkle Pete, stop. No, I love you very much too, but not right now. Go get your devil toy. The school's local yearly tuition and boarding fees range from roughly $21,000 to $28,000 based on grade. Why'd you do this to me? You ruined my life over a ruined day. You upped the ante. That's not that word, I don't think, but okay. I'm just a kid and you ruined my life. Too far, the boy added. No, this is called consequences. I know you've never faced them before, but these are called consequences. Maybe your parents didn't give them to you. Upon the school doing the private investigation on the matter, Victoria Police also stepped in to issue the boy a warning for unlawful assault, which this technically is because, you are throwing something at someone. Quote, the matter is now complete. A Victoria Police spokesman, ooh, gendered language. Australia, I thought you stopped that. The boys' prank stirred the pot across the internet as many bashed the quote ongoing problem end quote in Melbourne. What goes through someone's head to think I'm going to buy milk and ruin someone's day? One outraged TikToker said, not the kid trying to say he's just a kid and shouldn't be blamed for this. Another added, this is so sad. I hope it didn't ruin the rest of your day. One person said before Burgess said the group was, quote, "showered and washed our hair and then eventually got to continue their day." A fellow TikToker claimed she experienced a similar prank on renting Go Boat. This literally happened to me at Melbourne. We rented a Go Boat. Some kids at the bridge on top threw water balloons on us, and it was cold during winter, but Go Boat refunded our money. Look, to any younger people who may be watching this, and probably not because I mark my stuff as not safe for kids, but one of you is going to get unalived. I don't wanna see this, but you are going to prank the wrong person. You are going to throw something at someone who doesn't know what it is, and as soon as you become a potential deadly threat, Whether it was a prank in your mind or not, it doesn't matter what you think, it matters the person that you're pranking thinks. I I cannot stress enough that doing something stupid for internet clout and getting unalive for it is the last thing I wanna see any kid do, but you guys are gonna you're putting yourselves in dangerous situations, and I'll leave it at that. Fry, what are you d sometimes Fry is like my unofficial 7th oh, not sometimes, all the time is Fry like my unofficial 7th kid. In other news, Commander, Joe Biden's dog, we just found out, bit Secret Service agents at least 24 times. I don't know if I'm proud of him or not. I should be a better person and be very upset that he bit people, but I'm also like, "Meh, feds. I'm a terrible person, do not listen to me." President Joe Biden's dog Commander bit U.S. Secret Service agents on at least 24 occasions, new documents show. Secret Service records show the extent to which the German Shepherd caused chaos for the presidential guards. One senior agent noted the bites meant Secret Service agents changed tactics, advising agents to give him lots of room. The warning came months before Commander was removed from the White House. Well, I think that was after Chief done bit a bunch of people too, because he had 2 dogs. Friberto, oh, that's your rope thing. I was like, "Don't get a bra. Please not on live." It's like, it's my life, but okay, Kaiser, I'm sending Fry out to get trained because he has puppy dog eyes, and I'm a sucker, to be fair. Also, the trainer that I'm looking at, does service animal stuff, but cheaper than real service animal stuff. Documents revealed through a Freedom of Information request and posted online, though they're heavily redacted to protect the identity of Secret Service agents and secrecy of their security tactics, show that at least 24 biting incidents took place between October 22 and July 2023, including members of the Secret Service being bitten on the wrist, forearm, elbow, waist, chest, thigh, and shoulder. The documents do not necessarily record all biting incidents related to Commander, as they only cover Secret Service and not others that work in the White House or staff at Camp David in Maryland. Biden's family pet left the White House in October last year, 1 week after a service agent required medical treatment for a severe bite. Well, okay, so Squaw Bob, I got, several new outfits, and I was thinking, "Oh, I will need a different bra with a couple of these shirts, so I need to order them," and, I may have left a bra on the bed, and I keep forgetting that now, Senior Friberto can get on top of the bed, so I was hoping that I had put it away, but that's also something that on top of things me would do, and I'm generally not that person. Let's see. Doc oh, a previous incident in June led to a deep bite on a forearm of an agent who needed stitches. Blood on the floor in the area of the White House caused tours of the east wing of the building to be suspended for 20 minutes, according to one document. In July, another agent was bitten in the hand and required 6 stitches. The bite caused a severe, deep wound, and the agent started to lose a significant amount of blood, one email showed. The agent was given a small care package by colleagues as a present, including painkillers, antibiotic ointment, pepper spray, a muzzle, and dog biscuits for safety purposes. An unnamed senior agent in one email advised agents protecting Mr. Biden and his family must be creative to ensure our own personal safety. The recent dog bites have challenged us to adjust our operational tactics when Commander is present. Please give them lots of room, staying a terrain feature away if possible. Hide behind bushes from dog. Please protect old man in office, though. Oh, for the love of goodness. Before I go, hello. I hope you are having a lovely day in Ireland. One day I hope to visit there and, all of the places. At least leave my house once. I have never been out of the country, but I've barely been out of the state either. So it's not it's 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 not as though I'm a world traveler before I had children. Although I do have one daughter who's named after, well, she's not named after the place, but, being my most creative, offbeat, and awesomely self-confident daughter, uh, she believed that NOLA, New Orleans, was named after her, and I was like, not exactly." She's like, "I'm very glad they named a city after me." And I was like, "I don't." Okay. So it is a life goal to take her to New Orleans when she graduates high school, which I still have several years so I can work up on leaving my house. Roberto, I love you. Did you not get your zoomies out at 3 o'clock in the morning when you jumped on my bed and said it's time to wake up? Get a puppy. He'll be small. He's very quiet and calm, they said. I said, give me the calmest puppy you have. Roberto, I love you. Stop. Don't make me get the buzzy thing. All right. You need to stop scratching my arm. Come on. All right, we're getting the buzzy thing. Yeah, my arm looks like I am emo completely because he'll use his paw to wake me up or try to get my attention. No, I said no. In other animals going wild, a horse runs wild on Philadelphia highway just before rush hour. And of course, the video isn't playing because this would be a New York Post. So they're going to have a random video of something else or a black screen because today is the Mondayest of days. A driver captured a wild video showing a horse running along busy Interstate 95 in Philadelphia on Tuesday morning just ahead of rush hour. Footage taken by Angelo Palmer shows the animal sprinting the side of the highway northbound lane around 6 a.m. local time, with its hooves audibly clattering on the pavement. I have no idea how he got loose, man, an individual told Fox 29 Philadelphia reporter after the horse was captured and loaded onto a trailer in the city's Portman Richmond neighborhood. The man then said, quote, "Someone let him out," end quote, before driving away with the horse in tow. Quote, "Hey, Philly, hold your horses so we don't have to," the Philadelphia Police Department joked on a post on X. Police vehicles helped corner the animal at the bottom of one of I-95's ramps, according to Fox 29 Philadelphia. It is unclear where Mr. Ed came from. The man who spoke to the station and transported the horse away from the area wearing a sweatshirt with the words Fletcher Street Urban Riding Club. The organization describes itself on the website as a nonprofit located in northern Philadelphia that, quote, remains true to its mission in producing an alternative to outdoor leisure activity to the community and engaging urban youth in equestrian sports while teaching life skills, instilling discipline, and promoting academic excellence. It's shadow facts. Yes, it is. Now, where is Gandalf? Oh, goodness. It is so hard to see them grow up because you can still remember them in Garanimals, and now they have boobs and they like boys. And one second, I'm going to take a moment. So we did have, and I'm not going to get into a whole lot of details, but I do want to say give a shout out for ordinary everyday bravery to, my middle daughter's, well, I guess he's officially now her boyfriend, but she was having a really bad day, and he called her sister who talked to me, and he was pretty sure that my daughter was going to break up with him, but he still found the courage to call because he wanted to make sure that she was okay, and I have thanked him profusely because I can imagine that was very scary for him. So, every day, exceptional bravery, definitely a shout out for that one. And she is doing much better now, but she was having a very rough day, and I'm glad he was able to reach out. They are still boyfriend and girlfriend too. Now, am I a terrible mom for just wanting them to get married because he's a good kid now and I never have to deal with her dating ever again? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I'm like, "Oh, you're a great kid. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders. Can we just arrange for you guys to get married in 10 years? No more dating. I'm not equipped to handle this." Good morning, cool gamer. So between wild horses and teens, who knows? But you know what? You've given her the life skills, which means she is excited and ready. So take good mom points for that because you must have you must have raised her to want to be independent and, now it's a trap. She will earn money from this job and still ask you for money for things that she doesn't want to spend her job money on. I'm just letting you know. Parenting, doesn't come with an instruction book, like I tell my kids all the time. I'm like, "You're my beta test kids." Unfortunately, there is speaking of parenting, I've read this before, so I'm gonna try not to not to giggle, but mom unknowingly gives baby X-rated name. That poor child. A new mom left her family completely shocked after sharing the X-rated name she unknowingly gave her newborn baby. Y'all, this is why reading is fundamental. The 20-year-old gave birth in January and wanted to keep the name a secret until she signed all the official documents. This might be a terrible idea. It wasn't until afterwards that her family was able to tell her real meaning behind the name. She named the baby what? She wanted the name to be a sweet nod to her grandparents, Harvey and Charlotte. So she decided to blend the two names together to form Harlot. Yes, that's right, you all. Harlot. She had never heard the word harlot before, which is an old-fashioned word for a lady of the night or someone who has multiple smexy partners. Taking to the name forum on Reddit, the mom's cousin detailed the moment her family found out. My mom burst out, "You named the baby whore?" Why would that be a my thing? My cousin started screaming. "We are a loud family, but holy hell," she said. "That poor child, harlot, Halottte, harlot. It's so horrific. I can't call the baby that." The cousin even admits she's had to come up with a nickname for the baby. "She came out very pink and has a puggy nose, so I'm calling her Piglet for now." Ruining a baby's life straight off the bat, people pointed out that there was an obvious alternative to naming the child Harlot. Why not call her Charlie? It's almost like, no, no, no. Yes, it's a unique spelling, but it's still a hap tip to the grandparents. The top comment read, "Even spelling it normally like Charlie would be fine." Someone else pointed out, "How do you have the opportunity to blend two names to form Charlie and still get it wrong?" A third chimed in asking, "Why do people who have unlimited access to information at their fingertips, you have a mini computer right here, right here." I mean, half of it might be memes, but it is there, and refuse to use it for a simple search before ruining a baby's life. Teachers weighed in and shared how they'll address the situation when little Harlot is of school age. I would think it's a typo at first, then I would insist that the child go by their nickname, one wrote. If she doesn't have one, I'll pick one. The kid is getting called by their last name, said another. Meanwhile, others shared suggestions on how to avoid this problem from happening in the first place. Quote, when you're deciding on a baby name, there's certain things you need to consider, said one. Do you know anyone with that name that was a jerk? Does it rhyme with anything that could get the kid made fun of? When it stands alone, does it invite ridicule? Then another said they'd get a focus group of kids together, give them a list of names, and see what effery they come up with so I know which names to avoid. I like this one. I'm gonna get a focus group of kids and be like, "What terrible names can we come up with?" So, I did send this to our lawyerly lawyer friends because I am not sure what the jurisdictional, issues could be with this case, and it really does intrigue me. I don't tend to get too political on here, but this involves kind of federal versus state, and it is interesting. So, a slap in the face. NYCDA lashes out after Republican prosecutor refuses extradition of an accused unaliver. One of Arizona's top prosecutors has broken with typical legal protocol this week by refusing to extradite a 26-year-old man who is accused of unaliving a 38-year-old mother by beating her to death inside a New York City hotel room earlier this month. Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell, a staunch Republican who rose to office after winning a 2022 special election on Wednesday, publicly refused to send Arad Al-Masori back to New York to face murder charges in the brutal slaying of 38-year-old Denise Olias Arkin Arancibia. Mitchell, who was previously brought on by Republicans in the US Senate to assist in the okay, we're not going into political stuff. I just wanna know if this is legal. Mitchell is claiming that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin L. Bragg, a prominent Democrat, and the prosecutors in his office are too lenient on accused murderers to be trusted with detaining Al-Masori. Quote, having observed the treatment of violent criminals in New York area by Manhattan DA, there Alvin Bragg, Mitchell said during a press conference Wednesday, I think it's safer to keep him here, keep him in custody so that he cannot be out doing this to individuals either in our state, country, or anywhere in the United States, end quote. Bragg, so the, the reason I bring up this story is I wanted to ask some of our lawyerly lawyer friends what would be the remedy to this, or what would, can this happen? Politically, I don't really care, but I do wanna see if for the safety of the public, Arizona can keep this person who has these allegations in their hand because of the proven record of cashless bail and a bunch of other shenanigans that are going on in New York. You know, it it is an interesting legal question. Good morning, Sleeky, and hello, Joe, or hey, Joe, and Graceful Klutz, and Miss K. Griff. In other news, El Chapo's granddaughter is a Nessie searcher. 18, she joins the hunt for the Loch Ness Monster while romping through Scotland. The teen daughter of jailed drug kingpin El Chapo is partying her way through Scotland and even joined a hunt for the elusive Loch Ness Monster, according to reports. Frida Sophia Guzman Minos, 18, has been making the rounds during her Scottish jaunt, posting pics at Johnny Walker, excuse me, whiskey tasting, checking out the view from Edinburgh Castle, and hitting the Highlands for a boat trip on Loch Ness to look for the legendary resident, the Herald reported Monday. The teenager is the daughter of Edgar Guzman Lopez, the drug lord's son, who was unalived by a rival gang in a Mexican parking lot in 2008. Guzman, who is extradited to the US, is now serving a life sentence at ADX Florence Supermax prison in Colorado. Oh, no, but I need to see that. I have so many videos that I need to look at, so I will definitely have to get that in on a roundup thing for cases that I'm supposed to be watching. I need more time and less laundry. Edinburgh. Look, I haven't watched Highlander. I may be the only woman who hasn't, but I haven't. Nessie has to be a great dad or mom, keeping their kids all hidden and stuff. They're homeschooling. They don't trust public Nessie schools. Uh, once the head so, yeah, I'm kinda confused about where she's getting her money, but Uh, once the head of the Sinaloa drug cartel in Mexico, Guzman once boasted to unaliving as many as 3,000 people during his reign of terror atop the country's illicit drug trade. First jailed in 2015, he managed to tunnel out to freedom only to be recaptured the next year and extradited to the US in 2017. While on the run, authorities said he left behind a trail of empty whiskey bottles at various hideouts and had a particular affinity for Buchanan's Scottish whiskey, an 18-year-old blended spirit. Minoz seems to prefer Johnny Walker and isn't the first Chapo relative to be caught living it up while he sits behind bars. Last year, his wife, Emma uh, Cornell Aspero, was snapped partying it up at the VIP section of a Los Angeles nightclub after getting an early release from federal prison, where she'd been doing time on a drug trafficking conviction. Minoz also made the news before her recent high profile trip to Scotland, including launching a modeling and singing career in 2022 at the tender age of 16. I have seen or watched nothing of her stuff. Please don't get an OnlyFans, ma'am. Please go to school, learn to weld, just get a skill that isn't your body parts. A convicted murderer was missing from prison for a year before anyone noticed. I feel safe now. A convicted murderer who was supposed to be in prison roamed the streets for over a year because of bad communication between federal and state authorities. Wait, the government didn't talk to the government about what the government was supposed to be doing? My shock. It took until Jeremy Bryan Kelly's parole hearing scheduled for January 30th for officials with the Nevada Department of Corrections to realize he was not in custody. Court records obtained by the Las Vegas Review-Journal said Kelly was just 15 years old when he unalived a 47-year-old man in Las Vegas in 1996. Local CBS affiliate KLAS posted a copy of the original arrest affidavit that said the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department received a call around 12:30 a.m. Now, as my grandmother always said, nothing good happens after 12 p.m. or great things happen after 12 p.m. It's a little bit of a crapshoot, if you will. On June 2nd, 1996, about gunshots at the apartment, they responded to find Terry Dixon dead from a gunshot wound to the head. Witnesses told cops Dixon's son, Sean Dixon, had been saying he was going to unalive his father and had a force multiplier. The affidavit said witnesses said three people running from the apartment were seen running from the apartment after the shooting. A security guard said he saw a Ford truck leaving the complex with two juveniles later identified as Sean Dixon and Kelly inside. Cops later spotted the vehicle and the driver fled, leaving them on a high speed chase, the affidavit said. The truck crashed and Dixon and Kelly were taken into custody. A jury convicted Sean Dixon and Kelly of first-degree murder, robbery, and conspiracy to commit murder. A judge later sentenced them to life in prison with a possibility of parole. Prison officials granted Kelly's parole in 2016, but he landed into trouble 2 years later when he was allegedly caught with a force multiplier and trafficking not street legal pharmaceuticals of unknown origins. In December 2017, federal officials charged him with felon in possession of ammunition and a firearm, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute heroin, possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime, according to court records. Kelly pled guilty in 2019 to felon in possession of firearm and controlled substance with intent to distribute. Court records said the judge sentenced him to 3.5 years in prison. He served his federal sentence, and the Federal Bureau of Prisons released Kelly from its custody in June 2022. And this is when things got messed up. The BOP should have returned Kelly to the Nevada Department of Corrections at that point because he had violated his probation with the gun and drug charges. Citing court documents, KLAS reported that BOP never checked with Nevada officials to see if there was a hold on Kelly, so BOP released him to the streets. Quote, the Nevada Department of Corrections was looking for the defendant's location for his parole hearing. It was at that time that they realized the defendant was not returned to their custody. Bureaucracy. The court minutes heard from the hearing said NDOC officials didn't realize Kelly was gone until December when they were preparing for his parole hearing, KLS reported. A judge issued an arrest warrant for Kelly on January 25th. Why is it his fault? I mean, look, he made a really, really dumb choice as a kid, and he continues to seem to make dumb choices. But why is it his fault when the government screwed up? Just saying. I mean, he's still screwed up, he still needs to be punished, but sir, ma'am, government, I need you to come to the front of the classroom and explainarate yourself. Also, you have to wear the cone of shame. A spokesperson declined to comment to Law and Crime on the incident other than to give the date they released Kelly from their custody and the general information on how prisoners' projected release dates are calculated. The NDOC did not return comment. They're like, we have investigated ourselves and we've found nothing wrong with what happened. You're welcome. In other interesting news, science. A brain pacemaker helped a woman with crippling depression, and it may be available to help more people. Emily Holenbreck lived with deep reoccurring depression. She likened to a black hole where gravity felt so strong, her limbs so heavy, she could barely move. She knew the illness would could possibly take her own life because both of her parents had suffered and self-deleted. She was willing to try something extreme, having electrodes implanted in her brain as part of an experimental therapy. Researchers say that the treatment, called deep brain stimulation or DBS, could eventually help the nearly 3 million Americans, excuse me, like her with depression that resist other treatments. It's approved for conditions such as Parkinson's disease and epilepsy, and many doctors and patients hope it will soon become more widely available for depression. The treatment gives patients targeted electrical impulses, much like a pacemaker for the brain. A growing body of research is promising, with more underway, although two large studies show no advantage to using DBS for depression, temporarily halting progress. Some scientists continue to raise concern. Meanwhile, the Food and Drug Administration has agreed to speed up its review of Abbott's laboratory's request for use of DBS devices in uh, treatment resistant depression. I mean, honest to goodness, if it's done wonderful, wonderful things uh, for Parkinson's, I'd be willing to try it for depression. I'd rather not have to take a pill or, something that may have a bunch of different terrible side effects if this is proven to be true and works. And it seems to have worked for her. Now, I do understand that everything is, based on the individual patient, but it, it would be groundbreaking if this would be something that would help people that wouldn't have them dependent on, medications or things like that. So, I am coming down on this side of, let's let science work. Let's maybe just let people do stuff At the end of the day, it's your body. I mean, if you think this will help you, but I can understand why the government wants to get involved because they like to. Wonderful, Slinky. I'm so glad that you had more years and, more quality of life with him. That is wonderful. I mean, it does seem like a very intense thing, but if it would give relief to people, I'm all for it. As long as it's safe and, doesn't end up making you, connected to Neuralink. In all of the audacity, yes, I'm calling it in all of the audacity. The family of Kansas City shooting suspect Lindell Mays posted a GoFundMe to get him through this quote unquote tragic time. Y'all, I can't. I cannot. The mother of one of the accused Kansas City Super Bowl parade um, Freedom Seed distributors set up a GoFundMe for him. Now, I'm a little pissed off here because I remember, different court cases being, completely yeeted off of GoFundMe because, we don't accept and condone criminality, you know. Tennille Burnside created the online fundraiser for her son Lindell Mays, 23, showing him lying in a hospital bed recovering from 9 Freedom Seed wounds from a shootout he allegedly confessed to starting. Quote, he's in the ICU fighting for recovery from several surgeries from going to the Chiefs Super Bowl celebration with his older sister, the now deleted fundraiser said. Quote, getting shot multiple times at a time that was meant to bring so much joy has brought pain and sadness to all that was attending. And grammar notwithstanding, that is the dumbest sentence I've ever read because you are acting like he is a victim, but he started a damn shootout, madam. The fundraiser reportedly raised $100 for May's medical bills before he was charged Tuesday with second-degree unaliving, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and wrongful use of a weapon. He and the other accused shooter, Dominique Miller, allegedly 18, got into an argument before the shooting unfolded amongst thousands of innocent people. A female friend of May's told police the opposing group of several individuals wanted to know why Mays was looking at them. That is right. All of this BS shenanigans started because some guy was looking at another dude, and they didn't like how they were looking at each other, so they decided to just be the absolute dumbasseries. I mean, Mays started jawing with the group, according to probable cause statement obtained by the Post. He was seen on surveillance footage approaching the group in a quote unquote aggressive manner, then later pointing his finger at them, court documents said. Now, when Mays pulled his force multiplier, he started to chase unknown individuals who appeared unarmed and shot at them, resulting in others drawing their force multipliers, according to legal papers. The suspect would later allegedly admit to police that he pulled his force multiplier first and began shooting first, even though he was in a crowded area that had throngs of kids. Quote, Mays confirmed that he drew his force multiplier first and started shooting, all because they said, I'm going to get you to him. And that meant I'm going to, quote unquote, unalive you, according to court documents obtained by the Post. Mays stated the other individuals started shooting only after he shot first. When investigators asked why he advanced with them to begin with, the alleged gunman replied, stupid man, just pulled out a gun and started shooting. I shouldn't have done that, just being stupid, documents stated. Can we charge him for dumb? Can there be a crime doing a dumb? I mean, look, I'm guilty like half of the damn time of doing a dumb, but I feel like that needs to also be a felon. There need to be like misdemeanor doing a dumbs and then felony doing a dumbs. And it's just things that bother me. After Mays flashed his weapons, several others almost immediately brandished their weapons, including Miller, who fired a bullet that killed the 48-year-old or I'm sorry, 43-year-old mother of 2, Lisa Lopez Galvin, prosecutors say. 22 others were injured in the shooting. Both Mays and Miller are being held on $1 million bond. True. I think they took it down because I do think that they are starting, especially with this high profile, they were not going to get away with sort of differential treatment, um, that they can get away with. They're not being taught. I mean, honest to God, at this point in major urban cities, they should just make a dueling field and keep it out of the city. Like, y'all want to, hash out beef? Look, it's dystopian and it's terrible and it's not a great idea. But, just have a dueling field and you keep all that crap away from everyone else that's innocent. Y'all want to have, your colors and your family and your slug life and your thug life and all that other stuff. Take it to this field. All beefs are taken over here. We catch you out here, full force of the law. I'm kind of done with people. But again, this is why I'm not a judge and or lawmaker because I don't know that I would be the best person. It's a bit dystopian and Hunger Gamey. A rapper's elaborate virtual marriage proposal shocks his bride because he wasn't even there. I don't get what is all why? No. He's asking for a life sentence, securing her heart under lock and key. A lovebird jailbird put all free men to shame by popping the question to his now fiancée on FaceTime via a lavish display made complete with ornate floral arrangement, fireworks, and a violinist. And to think some people don't even get a belated Valentine's Day text this year. Well, Mr. Mo did try to find me the, Reese's hearts. Quote, "Turned this effing engagement from behind the wall," bragged Giddy Kiana Jones, better known as San Francisco. Is that how is he a dude? Kenyana? Maybe? I just y'all, I don't know. No, I like my force multipliers, my Mini 67. We'll have to disagree. If you took out the actual inner city violence, we'd be ranked much lower. That's the problem. And these people are already criminals who haven't gotten their guns through legal means, so I'm afraid we have differing points, but if it weren't guns, the instrumentality would be different. In London, you see knife violence and machete violence. You're seeing grenade violence. It violent people are going to violence. It's just what it is. Okay, better known as San Francisco rapper Yada is trending YouTube footage of his remote proposal to his bride-to-be, known online as Belly Bell, on February 12th. I know no of these people. "You ain't seen no S like this," boasted the lyricist. Bell said yes to the incarcerated Jones, who's serving a 12-year sentence in connection to a 2016 unaliving, and shared visuals of the elaborate big ask to a slack-jawed audience of more than this is a match made in heaven. I'm sure this is gonna go great. God bless you, crazy kids. Marriage is awesome. Have fun with that. Oh my god. This has so many red flags, it's not funny. Oh my god, what is wrong with people? This is like the people that marry serial killers on death row. In other news, this is not to give my personal opinion on stuff, but this is going to be a fairly big case, and it does come from my hometown or my home city. state, place, geography. Catholic parents appealed to the Supreme Court after son was removed from Indiana home for refusal to affirm gender identity. So this is a big sort of story, regardless of how you feel about the gender identity stuff, more for parental rights and what constitutes abuse. And I think that the state is going way too far on what constitutes abuse and then overlooking real abuse. That's my entire problem with this. Uh, Take the gender identity out of this. You have CPS who lets children fall through the crack all the time, but when they find a family that doesn't agree with ideologies, they go full bore, cray cray on them. And the differential enforcement is getting ridiculous. Sorry. A Catholic couple in Indiana is appealing to the Supreme Court after their son was removed from their home over their refusal to use his preferred pronouns. They intend to urge the U.S. Supreme Court to stop states from obliterating parents' rights in the name of gender ideology. Quote, "We are hopeful that the justices will take our case and protect other parents from having to endure the nightmare we did," the parents said. The child was kept in the foster care system until he aged out. Legislation of the type that was used against the parents is on the books in many states, with proposals in others. Mary and Jeremy Cox are represented in the case by Beckett Law, which stated, quote, "On February 15th, 2024, Beckett and Hirschberger Law Office filed a reply brief at the Supreme Court on behalf of the parents, asking the justices to strike down the Indiana court rulings protecting the rights of all parents to raise their children consistent with their religious beliefs." End quote. Indiana began investigating the Coxes in 2021 and found the parents did not affirm their sons. I'm not going to read the editorial stuff. Their sons' gender pronouns and other things, and removed the boy from their care, never returning him. Instead, the state placed him in a home with people who called him by his preferred pronouns. The parents were also prevented from talking to their son about God or human sexuality during their visits. The court allowed the state to remove the child from his parents' home over a disagreement on the nature of his gender identity. It was 2019 that the Cox's son told them that he identified as trans. The Coxes sought mental health to help for, you know, mental health. Obviously, if a child comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm struggling. I'm having all these feelings that I'm not in the right body." As a parent, you want to help your child feel good about the body that they're in because they're going to have it for their entire life. And an underlying eating disorder. The child began seeing a therapist. That mental health system, the Coxes say, was heavily biased in the favor of gender transition. Shortly thereafter, a report arrived with the state stating the Coxes were not using the child's preferred pronouns. Indiana took the child away from the Coxes, placing him in a separate home, and have only allowed restricted visitation of only a few hours per week. They have not allowed the Coxes to pass on their religious beliefs to their son. The boy's eating disorder has only worsened since been removed from the family's care. Quote, "This is what every parent is afraid of. We love our son and want to care for him, but the state of Indiana robbed us of that opportunity by taking him from our home and banning us from speaking to him about gender," Mary and Jeremy Cox said. The courts disagree, and in the initial proceeding, officials from Indiana stated that the child, quote, "should be in a home where she feels accepted for who she is." In essence, the court decided that the boy had the right to be affirmed rather than be with his parents. Uh, After the investigation was completed, Indiana dropped the allegations against the Cox, but still kept the child out of the home. Their argument was that the disagreement over the gender identity issues led to the eating disorder, despite the fact that the two were concurrent and the eating disorder had continued and worsened after he was taken from his parents. Indiana still kept the child away from his parents after determining that no abuse had taken place, and that was upheld upon appeal. Quote, if this can happen in Indiana, it can happen anywhere. Tearing a child away from loving parents because of their religious beliefs, which are shared by millions of Americans, is an outrage to the law, parenting rights, and basic human dignity. Or, I'm sorry, decency, said Lori Wyndham, vice president and senior counsel at Beckett. Quote, if the Supreme Court doesn't take this case, how many times will this happen to other families? This is getting really scary. I mean, the fact that they sought out mental health for their child, they were trying to do the right thing. Yes, their beliefs might not agree with his current thoughts, but they're trying to love the child in the way that they can. There's no abuse. They're trying to get help for an eating disorder. It just boggles my mind. In happier news, an 8-year-old boy sets a new chess record, becoming the youngest player to beat a grandmaster. This pint-sized chess player is proving he's no pawn. An 8-year-old chess playing prodigy became the youngest player to ever checkmate a grandmaster in a classical tournament match when he beat the worthy opponent on Sunday. Precocious competitor, oh, this is going to be it. Let's see here. Ashwath Kashik of Singapore defeated 37-year-old Polish grandmaster Jacek Sopta in fourth round of the Bergdorfer Stadthaus Open in Switzerland over the weekend, chess.com reported. He is 8 years old. Oh, and his mom still cuts his hair in a bowl cut. It's precious. I love it. I have neither the talent nor the concentration to do, chess, but I am willing to challenge you to a rousing game of checkers, sir. But I never move my back row because I'm kind of a cheater. So there you go. He shattered the record of the youngest player to win against a grandmaster in a classical game at 8 years, 6 months, and 11 days, according to the outlet. Quote, I felt really excited and amazing. I felt really proud of my game and how I played, especially since I was worse at one point, but managed to come back from that, Ashwath told chess.com. The elementary student started playing chess at 4 years old and quickly grew to dominate the board game. Quote, he picked it up playing with his grandparents. His father, Kashik Sharam, told the website while adding that neither he nor his wife played the game. At 6 years old, he became the world under 8 rapid champion during the 2022, um, I don't know, chess tournament tour. I don't know if there's like a season of chess. I could be wrong. Uh, thanks, Beckelin. If you find any documents, and I'm wanting to do so Sundays around 6, I'm wanting to do kind of a view that doesn't suck. So, people with differing opinions. And I think that, yeah, Indiana also has, yeah, that kid, that guy, that alleged human person. So, but I wanted to kind of have a round table of the view that doesn't suck. I'm thinking of Chicks and Chat or Boobs and Bitch, but I haven't thought of the name, but I really want to get people of differing opinions to kind of go over these stories and give our thoughts, not assuming the other person's a terrible person, just we have different thoughts on it and kind of have, discussions. So that is in the works. And by in the works, I mean I have the idea and I have a time slot. But other than that, I will be trying to invite people on from chat with differing ideas, and I wanna hear different perspectives. I was telling that to the boys today that, because I was kind of going off about Lincoln because 'cause I'm not his biggest fan, but I said, "Look, this is not a popular opinion. The great thing about our country is that you can have everyone have a different opinion, but that doesn't mean that they're horrible or that they're bad. It just means that they think about things differently, and we should respect that because if everyone just was the same, it'd be really, really boring. So, good on you, Mr. Chess Champ. I think you got a different haircut. I don't know if it's chess season still. I don't know if they have seasons like bow hunting, because it's the only thing I can liken it to. I'm working on trying to figure out a podcast. Um, I d They haven't released relevant details. I do need to look into it. I will try to, it is on my list of things to do, but I got sidetracked because, oh my gosh, I have stuff to show you guys, and my dog is now sleepy timed. But if you are looking for ner I I don't know if they have a chess season, if it's like basketball or sports ball. Well, and that's, Becca, what I wanted to kind of dig into. It's definitely more about parental rights and things like that, and how far the state is trying to go into raising our collective children. So it's interesting. But if you are looking for, to spruce up your wardrobe, and I am not sponsored, though I would be, believe me. Um, so this top and, this swimsuit, which looks okay, I may have watched, Ice Castles a whole hell of a lot too much, but it looks like an Ice Castles dress. Look, Robbie Benson, that voice. When did you start liking monsters? Well, it was Beauty and the Beast. Disney was my gateway, weird smexiness reading drug. Anywho, this is a really cute swimsuit. It's, they make, curvy girl kinda stuff, so if you're a little boobular, it does, and it hides maybe the bits that you're not so, you know oh, no, it's a swimsuit, so it's got a little, dress area and has the little arm sleeveys, you know, in case maybe your, winter, summer bodybuilding did not go as to plan as you thought it did, but if you are looking for nerd wear, and I know you are, 'cause you're here, but Her Universe is having a great big sale on clearance stuff, and I got Hobbit dresses because I'm a weirdo, but they had this Hobbit pinafore for, like, 20-ish, 40-ish dollars. Look, I buy everything on Quad Pay, so I'm like, "It's only $20 4 times." Mr. Mo is not impressed with my mathing skills, but it is girl math, and he forgets everything, so but the best thing I found, this. It's, kind of a recreation of what, real Star Wars Padme wore, and I'm here for it. Any hoozle, if you like clothes and you need some new ones, I suggest, Bloom Chick. Again, not sponsored, but they have really good look, they are made for us who may not be the skinniest, but we're, okay with it. They accentuate things, they give you a little bit of a waist if you want, they accentuate the boobular area, maybe take away from the belly area, always good. They're comfy and and they last. So, I recommend them, and then Her Universe is having a bunch of sales on cool things. I actually need to get an underdress for the Hobbit thing, so I'm ordering that today because why not? Also, be on the lookout, I did put the judge not that this is I will probably be getting this later by myself, but if you feel compelled to donate, I did put the judge thing. I figured out how to work. Oh my gosh, these poor people at Buy Me a Coffee probably thought I was very, very not smart. I already told them in the service thing, like, I don't know how to do technology, but I couldn't figure out how to put a wish list up, but I have figured it out now. So, if you would like to get or contribute to the Ruth Bader Ginsburg Judge Mo outfit, Just I put it up there. This is no way, asking for help, but I was just proud of myself that I figured out the damn button. Some days you take the small victories. Freibert's like, "I is exhausted, 'cause sleeping next to you, I have to push you out of the bed." "Oh, no. I'm showing you the clothes so I can still, I can put them on my taxes, but I'm not using." Look, 3 AM me would buy things no matter what, but I did need a new swimsuit because I am going to endeavor to people more this year, even that if that means, interacting with people in my neighborhood. I will check that out, Becca Lynn, and then put that on my Discord. I will try to remember that. Not that I'm aware of, but, I just look, they know Facebook knows me. They're like, "3 AM, would you like a hobbit dress?" And I'm like, "Yes, how many?" Mr. Mo is not amused. And Greedy Bloke, I'm a chick, of course I am, but now I have promised to clean out my closet. No, it's more for, me just judging people and giving out what I would consider sentences versus what are real sentences. So, if we're watching cop cams and stuff, or I just feel like doing things and, that kind of thing. Judge Mo is basically me just putting on, the robe and saying, "No, no, not 20 years to life. We're putting you in a gladiatorium against lions and or Snake Island." Just making it more official. There is no deadline on the donations, so it's just up there. It's a thing. Yeah, no, I am definitely not gonna channel, RBG because I'm still alive, but, well, and I didn't agree with a lot of her rulings, but she was a good judge and, she judged, but it's more gonna be like Sally Jessy Raphael and, Judge Judy. Where is Sally Jessy Raphael? Anywho, we have tangented enough. Oh, Greedy Bloke, no problem. Look, y'all, honest to goodness, we are doing fine here. I am covering internet and the streaming stuff and have, wig funds and everything. I have fun money. I was just proud of myself that I figured out how to put a thing up. So, there is no need to donate. You do not feel compelled. You guys just supporting and watching and letting me, be my goofy self online is totally helpful. So, and support. So, I was just letting you guys know that I figured out technology. They did call me though. They're like, "Do you still need help?" I was like, "Yes, but nothing you can do for me." They were, "Oh, I can't imagine how this would be an issue." Of course, that's not an issue. Why would that be an issue? Anyhoozle, I am going to redirect you guys to Baker, so it will be a Mo Baker raid, a mofo raid on Baker, and hopefully we will get a verdict soon because, oh my goodness, I should feel worse for not feeling principled enough to feel I feel bad I don't feel worse that I'm okay with this guy being guilty, even though they didn't really prove their case. Principles are a thing, but he's a douche, and really, I haven't had a whole lot of sleep the last 2 days, so I really don't care about, I should be more principled, but I don't, and I can't be. Anywho, justice for Harmony. Tell us where that sweet child is so we can properly honor her. And, if you have kiddos that you are allowed to hug, that hug them extra tight today for, oh gosh, Adrian, I wanna say the little girl in Texas who I know, passed away, and for Harmony. Have a wonderful day, guys. I will see you later. Bye.